Number 1. M104 Wolverine. You ever wish your tank could also throw a bridge like a magic trick? Boom, the M104 Wolverine. This heavy assault bridge vehicle is literally a bridge launching transformer. Only 44 were made, making it the limited edition holographic Charizard of the military world. It carries and deploys a 26-meter bridge in under 5 minutes and then reels it back in like a fishing line made of steel. It's extremely important so your big tanks and heavy vehicles don't get stopped by small ditches. And honestly, it's surprisingly polite for being called the Wolverine. It shows up, makes a crossing and picks up after itself. Number 2, M1 Abrams. The $24 million bulldozer with a PhD in destruction. Over 5,000 M1 Abrams are actively used today, with another 3,600 just hanging out in storage in case things go sideways. But it's not just about numbers. The upgraded M1A2 is a cyberpunk fever dream of a machine. It's got independent thermal viewers, a digital data bus to link controls, and a weapon station that sounds like something Batman would install. The common remotely operated weapon station, or CROWS. This tank even runs Linux. It's so dominant that the US plans to keep using these tanks beyond 2050, or at least until the Abrams X is made. Check out that video on my channel, and if you spot a M1 Abrams overseas, don't be surprised. They're everywhere from Ukraine to Australia. It's less a tank and more an international superstar. Number 3, M60A 1A VLB. If the Wolverine is a modern marvel, the M60A 1A VLB is the grizzled veteran. Born in 1963 and built on the chassis of the M60 Patton tank, it flings out an 18-meter long bridge using hydraulics, like it's performing a battlefield magic show. Its scissor bridge design is both nostalgic and absurdly functional. And let's not forget its party trick, creating smoke screens by dumping raw diesel fuel. It's the only military vehicle that turns into a bridge and vapes. At 13,000 kilograms, for the bridge alone, this is the bridge tank you want. I'm sorry, Wolverine. Number 4, International MaxxPro. This ride is basically an armoured superhero against improvised explosive devices, or IEDs. It features a V-shaped hull designed to deflect blasts away from passengers, and it's been tested against over 15 pounds of explosives with no injuries inside. That's right, 0. And if that's not enough, it includes electronic stability control, because why not throw some racing tech into your war wagon? Its high ground clearance helps prevent underbody damage from blasts, but also makes it look like it could tip during a fast turn. Think monster truck meets tank. Deployed globally from Brazil to Slovakia, it's the go-to ride when explosions are likely and safety is important. Although safety should be important everywhere. Maybe I'll grab one. Number 5, Humvee HMMWV. The Humvee, the rugged, beloved stepchild of the Jeep. This iconic vehicle became famous during the Gulf War for handling desert terrain like a pro. So much so that civilians wanted a piece of the action, thus birthing the Hummer brand. But it wasn't all sunshine and gas guzzling. The Humvee struggled during the Iraq War, when roadside IEDs became a deadly reality. Its flat bottom was no match for modern threats. Still, as a general purpose, go-anywhere military utility vehicle, the Humvee has serious street cred. It's been hauling troops, cargo, and occasionally morale since the 1980s, and will always have a place in military pop culture. Number 6, Desert Patrol Vehicle, DPV. Lightweight, fast, and furious. The DPV looks like it came straight out of Mad Max and into a sandstorm. This open frame, sandrail style vehicle accelerates from 0 to 30 miles per hour in just 4 seconds and can top out at 80 miles per hour. It's all about hit and run tactics, perfect for recon missions and desert warfare. It holds a 210 mile range and packs serious heat, including M2 Browning machine guns and M136AT4 anti-armor rockets. It's not about armor, it's about speed, mobility, and giving off major action movie vibes. The DPV became iconic during Operation Desert Storm, zipping across sand like it was carrying Lisan al-Gaib. Number 7, M270A1 MLRS. This bad boy can fit so many rockets. The M270A1 Multiple Launch Rocket System is the Bradley fighting vehicle's missile-obsessed cousin. Instead of infantry, it carries a pod of rockets capable of wiping out everything from enemy armour to hard-to-reach bunkers. It can launch both guided and unguided munitions, some hitting targets over 93 miles away. That's basically like sending a rocket from downtown Los Angeles to Santa Barbara. It's constantly being updated with new munitions, which makes it kind of like a smartphone that fires explosives. Or, if you're Samsung, you just do both? Is that reference too old? Am I showing my robo age here? Number 8, M1097 Avenger. Picture this, a Humvee wearing a backpack made of surface-to-air missiles. That's the Avenger. Designed and built in just 10 months during the 1980s, it's been around as a mobile air defense unit ever since. It guards ground units against cruise missiles, drones, helicopters, and low-flying aircraft. It's so effective that it doesn't even need to fire. Sometimes its presence alone is a deterrent. With a turret mounted on a heavy Humvee and the slew-to-Q system, which lets the commander point and shoot like a video game, it's a literal game changer. The upgraded version even adds more firepower for defending assets and convoys. Imagine flying by and seeing something like this, just daring you to get closer. Number 9, family of medium tactical vehicles. The MTV lineup is like the military's dependable pickup truck collection. Need to haul troops, move cargo, tow something ridiculous. There's an MTV for that. From tiny runabouts to beefy 5-ton haulers, the family includes dozens of variants. Think of them as the Ford F-150s of the military world. Not the flashiest on the lot, but they're always there, always working, and always painted army green or desert brown if you're feeling fancy. You'll see them everywhere because they are everywhere. There are also so many of them, with variants so specific like emergency vehicle, medevac, ammunition cargo, regular cargo. If I went into each variant, I think it'd be its own video. Number 10, Dragon Runner. This 20-pound Urban Scout robot is the military's equivalent of a tactical Nerf football. It's just 15 inches long, under a foot wide and 5 inches tall, basically the size of a shoebox with attitude. Built to be tossed over fences, into stairwells, or from moving vehicles, the Dragon Runner is used for recon in sketchy terrain too dangerous for humans. It detects bombs, checks corners, and lets soldiers see around obstacles without getting blown up. It's the tiny battle buddy that never complains and always volunteers to go first, kind of like the R2-D2 of modern warfare. I wonder if they put in the Scream too. Number 11, Foster Miller Talon. Now this is the Navy SEAL of robots. The Foster Miller Talon is extremely advanced, under 100 pounds, and able to move through sand, snow, water stairs, and probably bad vibes. It's controlled via Operator Control Unit, OCU, that streams back real-time data and video. There's a Talon for every mission, one for bomb disposal, one for surveillance, one with guns called swords, one for sniffing chemicals, hazmat, and one that swims using sonar, Sea Talon. Also shout out to the name guy on this one, Special Weapons Observation Reconnaissance Detection System, swords, so cool. Number 12, AMPV/M1283. The AMPV is like a tank's little brother who went to med school and then joined the infantry anyway, made in the UK, and based on the Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, this modular vehicle is meant to replace the M113 and does everything. Need a medevac, command post, troop transport, mobile mortar launcher, there's an AMPV for that. Over 2,800 of them are in service and many have night vision, NBC, nuclear, biological, chemical, protection, and grenade launchers that can fire smoke rounds. It's basically a rolling command centre, ambulance and battle taxi all in one. The Swiss Army knife of armoured vehicles. Number 13, F-16 C/D Fighting Falcon. Say hello to the jet that made every kid want to be a fighter pilot. The F-16, also known as the Viper, because pilots need to have cool nicknames for their babies. It's a single-engine, supersonic, multi-role fighter aircraft built by Lockheed Martin and originally developed way back in 1974. But don't let its age fool you, this plane is still running laps around its competition. With over 4,600 built and used by countries from the US to Poland, it's one of the most iconic aircraft in the world. The F-16's famous bubble canopy gives pilots maximum visibility and max cinematic flair. and it was one of the first jets to feature a relaxed static stability flight control system, which basically means it flies like it's doing parkour through the sky. Number 14, T-6A Texan II. Every superhero has an origin story, and for most military pilots, it starts in the cockpit of the T-6A Texan II. This single-engine turboprop is the trusty sidekick in pilot training programs worldwide. From Canada and Greece to New Zealand and the UK, it's a two-seater, which means student in front, instructor in back, or vice versa, and it's designed to be incredibly forgiving until you screw up, and then the ejector seats are there to say nope and yeet you out of trouble. It tops out at 364 miles per hour, which is just fast enough to feel cool without being terrifying. Honestly, one of the coolest planes you could train on. Imagine if it was just something like this. Number 15, KC-135R/T Stratotanker. Think of the KC-135 as a flying gas station, developed by Boeing and in service since the Vietnam War. This aerial refueling tanker can top up other jets in mid-air, because why land when you can sip Jet A at 20,000 feet? It's shorter than your average Boeing 707, but it more than makes up for it with attitude. As of today, it's one of just 9 aircraft with over 60 years of continuous service. And yes, they're still going strong, expected to stay operational until at least 2030. Without these tankers, most fighters and bombers wouldn't be flying for too long. Number 16, A-10C Thunderbolt II Warthog. The A-10, aka the Warthog, is the flying tank of the skies. And no, it's not sleek, it's not fast, but it's an absolute unit. Designed exclusively for close air support, the A-10 can fly low, slow, and mean, all while shrugging off ground fire. Its main feature? A 30mm GAU-8 Avenger cannon that's so big, it's basically a flying gun with wings. That cannon can tear through tanks like they're soda cans. It served in the Gulf War, Iraq, Afghanistan, and other hotspots where ground troops needed an angel with a minigun. Even its armour is special. The cockpit is surrounded by a titanium bathtub to keep pilots safe while they rain hell. Number 17, C-17A Globemaster III. Imagine the world's toughest FedEx truck crossed with a jetliner, and you've got the C-17. This heavy transport aircraft was born to carry massive cargo. We're talking 70-ton tanks like the M1 Abrams, multiple armoured vehicles, and 170,000 pounds of gear straight into forward operating bases. It can land on short, rough runways and take off almost like it's going straight up. And despite its size, it's fast, cruising at around Mach 0.74 or around 560 miles per hour. The C-17 had a rocky development, including $1.5 billion in cost overruns, but it redeemed itself by being one of the most reliable and essential cargo planes ever built. Manufactured from 1991 to 2015 and still in active service. Number 18, F-15C/D Eagle. The F-15C/D Eagle is a twin-engine beast with over 100 air-to-air kills and 0 losses in combat. Let that sink in. 0 losses. I think I want the jet that has never lost. Thank you very much. Built to dominate the skies, the F-15 has a low wing loading, which makes it super manoeuvrable, and a high thrust-to-weight ratio, which means it climbs like a bat out of hell, 30,000 feet in about a minute. Developed over 50 years ago, it still crushes in dogfights and has been exported globally. If the F-16 is the nimble ninja, the F-15 is the heavyweight champion. Big, brutal, and undefeated. Number 19, CV-22B Osprey. Why pick between a helicopter and a plane when you can have both? The CV-22B Osprey is the love child of a Black Hawk and a C-130, and it flies like a dream, or a nightmare if you're on the receiving end. With tilt rotors that allow vertical takeoff and horizontal flight, it can swoop into tight spaces, drop off a team, and be gone before the dust settles. Developed after the failure of Operation Eagle Claw in Iran, it's a new generation of tactical versatility. It's used for special ops, extractions, insertions, all while looking like something out of Halo. Number 20, B-2A Spirit. The B-2A Spirit is the stealth bomber that is the most expensive jet in the world. Each one cost a whopping $737 million, with the total cost to get it off the ground at over $2.1 billion. That's because these jets are radar evading, high altitude flying, precision bombing, Invisible Death Gliders. They can carry up to 40,000 pounds of munitions, cruise at 628 miles per hour, and fly up to 50,000 feet, with a climb rate of 3,000 feet per minute and a radar profile smaller than a bird. The B-2A is the final boss of the sky. Oh, and it costs about $135,000 per hour to operate. Anyone got a couple $1 billion sitting around? Number 21, Nimitz-Class aircraft carrier. Behold the floating city that brings air dominance to any ocean near you, the Nimitz-Class aircraft carrier. These nuclear-powered monsters stretch over 1,090 feet long and weigh more than 100,000 tons. They're basically floating air bases that can launch and recover aircraft using steam catapults and arrestor wires, which are just as intense as they sound. With nuclear reactors powering them, these carriers can sail for over 20 years without needing to refuel. That's right, 2 decades of we don't need a pit stop. They've been used in everything from the Gulf War to modern day operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. Costing around $11.2 billion each, they carry up to 90 aircraft and enough fuel and ordnance to rewrite the neighborhood. Number 22, Los Angeles-Class Submarine. Known as the 688 class, this nuclear-powered fast attack submarine is the James Bond of undersea warfare. Stealthy, fast, and absolutely lethal. Developed during the Cold War, the Los Angeles-Class still makes up almost half of the US Navy's attack subs, and for good reason. These subs can carry 24 torpedoes, Tomahawk cruise missiles, and even sea mines. The onboard electronics are state-of-the-art, and noise reduction tech makes them nearly impossible to detect. Admiral Rickover famously said they were named after cities because fish don't vote. But come on, Rickover, how do you know that? Maybe Admiral Dolphin would take offense to that. Wait, dolphins are mammals, uh-oh. Number 23, USS Constitution. She might not be active, but she's still alive and floating. The USS Constitution, also known as Old Ironsides, is the oldest commissioned warship still afloat. Launched in 1797, this 3-masted frigate earned her nickname during the War of 1812, when British cannonballs literally bounced off her wooden hull. Built tough and fought tougher, she captured numerous warships during her prime and became a national legend. Retired in 1881 but kept afloat in Boston as a ceremonial vessel, she serves as a living monument to the Navy's early days. She's made of wood, filled with history, and carries centuries of bragging rights. Number 24, Arleigh Burke-Class destroyer. The Arleigh Burke-Class destroyer is the destroyer. These guided missile destroyers can do just about everything. Anti-air, anti-submarine, anti-ship, and even anti-ballistic missile missions. Over 500 feet long, armed with up to 90 missiles, and powered by 4 gas turbine engines, these ships bring the heat. They're equipped with the Aegis combat system. Basically, a battle computer so precise it should scare anyone that looks at the ship wrong, and use radar hiding designs like angled surfaces and a raked tripod mainmast to stay stealthy. With 74 active as of January 2025, they've had the longest production run of any US Navy surface combatant. Remember, don't look at it in the eyes. The Arleigh Burke-Class destroyer can smell fear. Number 25, Independence-Class Littoral combat ship. The Independence-Class is the corvette of naval vessels, fast, nimble, and made for action close to shore at 418 feet long and capable of zipping around at 40 knots. That's about 74 kilometers per hour for us landlubbers. This ship is meant for the littoral zone, aka the danger zone near coastlines. Its unique trimaran hull design offers stability, while modular weapons and sensor systems make it super flexible for missions like mine hunting, anti-submarine warfare, and surface engagements. It's also designed with passenger comfort in mind, making it the closest thing the Navy has to a deadly yacht. Number 26, American helicopter XH-26 Jet Jeep. The 1950s were wild, and the XH-26 Jet Jeep proves it. Built as an experimental observation chopper, this tip-jet-powered mini-helicopter was designed to be airdropped, assembled by 2 guys in 20 minutes, and flown out of tight spots like it was no big deal. Made of aluminum and fiberglass, it weighed less than 300 pounds and looked like someone glued rotor blades to a soapbox car. Several prototypes were built, but the concept was ultimately too quirky to be adopted. Still, it's the kind of idea that makes you wish retro sci-fi had a budget. It might not have seen action, but it definitely saw imagination. Number 27, Sikorsky U-60 Black Hawk. This is the helicopter you picture when someone says military helicopter. The Black Hawk, built by Sikorsky and introduced in 1974, has done everything from troop transport and medevac to direct combat and taken out Osama bin Laden. Over 2,600 have been built, and it remains the backbone of the US Army's rotor wing fleet. It's got twin engines, 4 blades, and enough firepower to clear a landing zone like it was nothing. It can carry 11 troops with a gear, or sling 2,600 pounds of cargo, and do it all while flying at 183 miles per hour. Versatile, reliable, and absolutely iconic. The Black Hawk is the warhorse of the skies, and it's still going strong, and that's just the tip of the iceberg for the US military. Let me know if you want me to dive into more vehicles, because there are tons more and they can get really weird. Plus, I always have fun looking into weird military tech. Don't forget to subscribe